Hey guys, it is now 7:28 p.m. on Sunday still, and I just attended uh, I think she's calling it a Sacred Sunday, and we did a meditation, and it was like a labyrinth. It was a mental meditation, like a labyrinth thing, and it's about winter ending and spring beginning, and what do you want to leave behind in winter, and what do you want to bring to spring. And as you know, it's been a very, very emotional day and responsibility. Because I can have an emotional day if I don't have responsibility. You know what I mean? But the fact is that I decided not to do Ring Fit today. And that's fine, but I still did the yoga and the affirmations right before the meeting because I thought that's only going to help me. I released more tears. And so what I saw at the beginning of the labyrinth, my labyrinth, there was a big waterfall in the center, and there were roses everywhere, and I could smell the roses. And at the beginning of my labyrinth, what I was bringing from winter was a heart broken in two in gray, not black, because I don't let my heart harden, but just all the color, all the life sucked out of it. And I really saw this, and it was made of stone, and it was broken in half. And at first, I was going to leave the broken pieces at the entrance, and then I realized that I wanted to carry the weight and feel the weight so that I could feel the pain, so that I could feel the difference when it transformed. So I made a conscious choice to bring the broken, painful, gray heart of stone into the labyrinth. And I literally moved my feet back and forth, like kind of like that, on my bed. And I was like walking, and I could smell the roses, and I could see the waterfall, and I knew that my heart was about to be transformed. So I decided to have God, the universe, spirit, take this broken pieces of my heart that's been just drained of all life and transform it into what it really is, which is like a big, sparkly, light heart, like lit up, and put it in my body. And I imagine it being put in my body, and the sparkles shooting to all my veins and all my, parts, and like lighting up, like a Christmas tree, like lighting up. And she even said, before we left the labyrinth, she's like, wait and pause. Are you ready? Like, are you fully ready? And I was like, and in the meditation, it was like, no, my toes aren't sparkly yet. And so I visualized that, it was really intense. And I realized it's because I'm afraid of being seen. I was afraid of being seen. It was not safe to be seen. So I have to hide. I have to hide. I have to dull. I have to just be dull. Because if I'm my true self, I'm a target, right? It's very, very, very not only symbolic, but has been my experience, right? But I ultimately am deciding. See, I'm shaking because this is a transformation, but I'm ultimately deciding that I would rather be rejected for who I am than be accepted and celebrated for who I'm not. Which ultimately means that I would rather not reject myself, right? And I'm seeing if there was anything else. But yeah, that was the big thing. And when I went through the waterfall, that's when everything changed. Like that like noise when like a magic wand or like, you know what I'm talking about, like Tinkerbell, that kind of thing. And I could feel it. And yes, I'm a visual person, but I would not have been able to do this and see all this and have this really experience if I wasn't doing all the work that I'm doing. Does that make sense? Like, I am a very intuitive, creative person, but trauma will block it. right? And that's why the book I want to write is about, you know, the person's going to be on every page, but you're not going to see them because they're clouded. They've got things in the way. And I also talked about how, like, I transform energy. So I'm basically taking shit and turning it to fertilizer. And I see it. Like, not only do I like believe it and have like intuition about it, which is important, but that's not I haven't cultivated that very much yet. This is brand new to me, this awareness. But I'm seeing it in real time with my daughter. I'm seeing how when I get her energy to a certain, she's projecting that, and I see that. So I'm like, this is proven that this works, type of thing. And so I'm just really, really proud of myself and incredibly grateful. Because the facts are, I have released a ton of tears today while still taking care of her, while tackling my fears, And I could have not gone tonight. And I was like, but I want to try to go if I can. And I remember that because I was like, do I have time to do yoga and ring fit? I'm like, well, you know what? We're just not doing ring fit, but I do want to do affirmations because that's only going to help me. And it was like, you can be like, if let's say I'm 5 minutes late, quote unquote, it's like, and I wasn't even, but it was like, if that's a difference between me doing something or not, and I just feel like I'm breaking through. I don't do martial arts. I would like to, but I'm starting to see it like that, like those boards or like the belts, I'm like earning those belts. I really am. And I'm not just enduring pain, guys. I'm not enduring pain. I'm finally learning to feel it and then truly transforming it and turning it into love and sending that out, right? Because me being dulled and me being like meek, that's not helping the world. That's not who I am, Me being scared, it's okay to be scared. I want to be careful what I say to myself. Me letting the fear, right? Scared is fear. Me letting the fear stop me from being who I really am is not helping the world. That'd be like, I want to make a video, but I'm scared, so I'm not going to, And I know this is helping someone on some level because a couple of people have told me that, and that's all I need. And I think there's like 40 something people that have actually subscribed, which I can't even comprehend, but I don't need to, because my point is I'm being genuine, I'm being authentic, and I'm so fucking excited because tonight was another example of like, I can get to these. Oh, that's what we're talking about. I was talking about one thing I learned from this winter was that I can't control the weather. That might sound like duh, but what I mean is, it doesn't matter how much anything you have. There's certain things you can't control, and it actually is a freedom, because when you start to let go of things you can't control, and you realize you're not responsible for things you can't control, right? Then you can put your energy where you can control it, And at the end, I had this epiphany of, we talked about like storms, and it's like the storms, the emotional storms. The darker the storm that I am willing to feel and go through, not only is it like, it's bright on the other side, but truly the polarity, the brighter it is on the other side. Does that make sense? Like, it's not suffering through pain for the sake of suffering at all. It's literally transforming it. So, like right now, I feel like it might be a little hard to sleep tonight because I've transformed all this energy, but then I'm, spreading it. And I do think that's what life is about, Oh, I was saying too that when we can remove this veil, this barrier, then we can have real connections with people, like true, deep connections with people. And I do think that's something that's missing. And to me, that is what gives life its juice. That's what gives life life. You know, that's the difference between someone who's unconscious and they're sleeping and someone who's unconscious and they're not here anymore. You know, it's kind of like if someone's like, I don't know, like really drunk or on drugs or something, and they're not here. Their body's here, but they're not here. You know, and to me, there's nothing better than when you have a real connection with someone. Like you have a synergy. It is, to me, magic. And that's why I do all the work I do and go through all the stuff I go through, because I fight for every moment of joy. And I fight for the ability to feel the joy. Because you can be grateful for something but not feel the gratitude. And that's more of an obligation, which isn't real gratitude. But when it overflows out of you, it's like when you smile. It's like when you're like, I can't stop laughing. Is that not the most amazing feeling in the world? The joy is spilling out of you, you know? I love that. So that's what I fight every day, every hour of every day for. And the facts are, it was a really challenging day for me. And yet I'm incredibly proud of myself. I'm incredibly fulfilled right now. And I just feel like I won a medal or something, you know? It's like I'm fighting so hard. And at the same time learning how to not fight, if that makes sense. But in the meantime, in the transition time, I'm fighting. I'm breaking through that barrier. So I'm using all my might to do that. And reminding myself that the brain will always go to what's familiar. So my job is to make the unfamiliar familiar. And the familiar the unfamiliar. And even though pain is familiar, feeling the pain is unfamiliar. It was always about carrying the pain, running away from the pain, pretending the pain's not there, not changing situations because, well, you know, I can handle it. I can handle a lot of pain. I always have. How about I don't deserve that? How about that? How about I can actually change my life, you know? So, anyway, I love you guys, and I really hope this helps you in some way, because that is truly what I'm all about. So, love you guys. And after this, I'm going to do bedtime with my daughter, and then I'm going to take a bath, and I'm going to do today's tapping, because I deserve it. I earned it, and I want to. So, love you guys.